Hello, good morning. You're welcome to GH Today News. My name is Sewami here. Coming up in the headlines. Communications Ministry gate crashes a press event that was about mouthing the Ghana Post GPS to set the record straight. Life is easy when you have all faculties working. But what if you don't? What then? Stay for the story of a 24-year-old who has never walked nor spoken since he emerged from his mother's womb. Also in this edition, children in Ghana are asking for equal access as they air their concerns on International Children's Day. We will bring you a few. Want to communicate with anyone away from you? Get a phone and bam. But placing a call is not as simple as it sounds to residents of Bilisinga who must climb atop trees in search of an exclusive network just to connect with the outside world. We bring you details of these stories and more. It was a day of drama at the press center yesterday when an event organized by the Coalition of Democratic Governance to condemn the Ghana Post GPS was gate crashed by the Deputy Communications Minister. Judge Anda rebuffed several claims by the coalition, which had been trying desperately to pronounce the National Addressing System a sham. My colleague Joshua Nanakwame Ayira was there and files this report.
Ghana on October 18, 2017 launched a national digital and property addressing system, otherwise known as the Ghana Post GPS, a modern approach believed to make tracking people and places easy using geocoding technology. The robust system works irrespective of changes in borders and environment. The move seeks to harmonize the Ghanaian economy and transform business operations. But the Coalition of Democratic Governance at a press conference Monday described the innovation as a sham and a means to mislead the entire citizenry. The principal speaker who led the crusade, Kingsley Morty, a GPS expert, noted that the purported system is nothing but a nuisance and unnecessary as there are already existing Google Aid platforms to identify and also geographically locate places in Ghana.
It's a waste of space and time. So if you want to improve my life, you buy a mattress for me. You buy a bed sheet for me. Let me use in the bed. That will help me, give me some more comfort. What we have already is exactly what they've done. Indeed, it's actually worse than what they've done, because the one that is available to us, you can give it to anybody in any part of the world. The person can just put it into regular Google and can be able to find it.
A concerned member of the group, Samuel Jemfi, alleged that the government erred in engaging the services of Vocacom, a company that has failed to pay their annual taxes, which have accrued to 3 million cedis.
Our investigations about the company which is at the center of this whole issue, Vocacom, suggest that the company has not filed its financial annual returns with the Ghana Revenue Authority as provided by law, and that evidence available at the Ghana Revenue Authority suggests that the company owes the Republic of Ghana taxes to the tune of about 3 million Ghana cedis. Why government has turned a blind eye to this development baffles us.
Soon after Samuel Jemfi's presentation, the Deputy Minister of Communication, George Anda, gate crashed the conference and took to the podium to rebut all allegations made by the group.
You spoke about a number of things. In the first place, you said that Vocacom haven't paid their taxes. It's an absolute lie. Okay? I have the tax clearance certificate for Vocacom on my phone, and your cameras can pick it up. This is the tax clearance certificate for Vocacom issued in March 2017. So it's a total lie that you come and say that this company is not tax compliant.
The managing director of Ghana Post Company Limited, James Kofi, who accompanied the uninvited team, touted the system and said there was no replica of the system anywhere, contrary to some opinions in the public.
Google Maps gives you longitude and latitudes. There was some illustration that the gentleman did in the room. It gave you some numbers. It didn't give you your digital address with postcodes. That's the first one. As of now, most people I know have downloaded their digital address. Second, there's a back-end feature of it that allows a number of institutions to add value to their system.
Stakeholders are demanding the creation of an enabling environment to change the inequalities in child development. According to them, certain interventions only tend to benefit a few due to some gaps in the implementation process. As the world marked International Children's Day yesterday, children in Ghana called on governments to ensure equal access to education and other basic needs. Abina Owusu-Nyamiche has the rest of the story.
Emmanuel Opon is a 15-year-old apprentice here at the Arts Center. Months ago, he dropped out of school after the demise of his father. He has no idea November 20 is being marked as International Children's Day. He wishes he was in school.
The
day is being marked with the aim of saving the lives of children, fight for their rights, and help them fulfill their potential. This year's International Children's Day is on the theme Kids Take Over. From early child marriage, neglect, female genital mutilation, poverty, among others, children the world over use today to highlight changes they wish to see in society. As Emmanuel worked under the scorching sun, his peers had gathered at the African Dialogue, an event which provided a platform for children in parts of the continent to espouse their views on the issues they face and their expectations from policymakers.
Many children I see outside are moving, but they don't have a better future. What I can see, that they don't have a better future, and I can't see any improvement in African society or Ghana society. They should set a serious law, and anybody who go against the law should be punished severely to make Ghana a rightful country.
Africa, where children do what just they want. No slavery, no discrimination, not beating one and leaving one.
These teachers who joined the children to mark the day called for the depoliticization of issues related to education.
Education should be left on its own. Politics should have its own role, but education should have its own policy planners or whatever, so that we would follow a certain line and then see the result. Teaching should be creative. It's in a straight jacket, and so the children is like, I have to chew pass and then that is all, and it shouldn't be. It's a continuous process. So it means that the books that are being printed for the student itself, we should update them.
Co-founder of the People Initiative Foundation, Daniel Entry, told the news team although interventions like the free SHS program inure to the benefit of the Ghanaian child, a lot needs to be done to bridge the inequality gap between the urban and the rural child.
I would say good things are happening, but yet again we should improve and increase what is being done so far. There is still more to do. You could see there is the rural child and the urban child. That is a clear, I would say, a clear gap of inequality, and so you expect CSOs and various policies to bring access to equality.
So kudos to all the NGOs that have been fighting for children. I know Beswado Hammond is one of those and has been fighting for equal access for children across the country. Now, this story we are bringing you will send chills down your spine. Imagine living in a world where no one understands your emotions because you cannot speak. You're equally forced to accept whatever is handed to you because you cannot express yourself in any form. Such is the case of a 24-year-old physically and supposedly mentally challenged Wanda at a Shaiman in Accra. He spends most of his time locked up with ducks being kept by his parents. The price he has to pay for being struck by an unknown condition. Alice Aite has more in this report. Without pants or diapers, 24-year-old Wanda crawls like a baby in this enclosed area with his parents' ducks. Named Wanda, his condition is very puzzling to his poor parents. His mother says he got missing for 3 whole days right after birth before he was brought to her. Left alone most often to do his own thing, he gets stained with dirt and sometimes by his own feces mingled with waste products from the ducks. Wanda cannot walk, talk or do anything for himself. And so, he cannot communicate when he feels the urge to ease himself or urinate. At 24, his mother is too poor to furnish him with diapers to at least keep him clean. The inability to do anything for himself means he is heavily dependent on his 50-year-old mother, who is also jobless. Wanda's mother, Mama Kos, tells me they have no clue what condition their son is suffering from since he has been like this since infancy.
They didn't tell me nothing that this is the reason why my son is like this or like this. They didn't tell me nothing.
So up till now, 24 years, you don't know what is wrong with him?
I didn't know what. Just ask me my experience or whatever. Yeah, I just told myself that maybe the injection because it takes many injections. So I just think that maybe the many injection or the too much of the injection, maybe it didn't let me remain for Floyd when it cannot.
Their poverty has prevented them from seeking answers and perhaps getting him help.
He can't eat. He can't do nothing. Even sometimes if you go to toilet, but for all his body.
At the time of our visit at around 10:30 in the morning, his mother had just returned from church to serve him breakfast. After being fed his breakfast, he had to be put on this old trunk to be bathed, but that was not done easily as his mother had to struggle, turning him around to clean his whole body. When asked why Wanda is left all alone and sometimes locked up here in this space with the ducks, his mother explained it is to save him from being discriminated against. She also says she keeps her son with the ducks when going out to prevent him from wandering around and getting lost.
The reason why, when you opened the door before you came, she went out. Some people think that maybe he's not a human being or whatever. I would say, the last time ago, I was sleepy because I slept on the other side. Them two in the brothers they sleep for here. I was in the room around 4:30. Someone can come that I should come and see my son was going. Before I realized, he reached 22.
Just like many other persons with disability, Wanda's rights are clearly being violated. A 24-year-old forced to live with ducks. Wanda's mother might have an explanation for her action, but is it sound and does it excuse the fact that her son's rights are being trampled on?
The only help I need, either I'll get wheel bad and the wheel that you can fit stand on it. Whether if I get the wheel that you get leg or they will put tire under. Because of if there's no one in the house, he himself can feel go around. Because he was sitting on the floor for long, so the bones are grown, they are lost. So I want him to stretch the leg. Maybe if we get the wheel to stay after, if they can give him, put him something to stretch the leg, so that he can feel manage himself for work or whatever, and that's what I want.
Majority of persons with disabilities like Wanda still face various forms of discrimination and are more likely to live in poverty because of their inability to assert their rights. There are always unseen barriers inhibiting their inclusion into mainstream society. Alice Aite, GH1 News.
And we are soliciting for funds for a 24-year-old Wanda. If you have any form of help, contact GH1 TV on all our social media platforms, or you can just walk into our studios here at Platinum Place in Adabraka, and just let's help this little, we can't even call him a little boy, but let's help him get some help. Now, in the northern region, it may be seen as a laughable joke in some parts of the world to tell someone to climb a tree if they're experiencing network problems while communicating on mobile phones. However, in Bilesinga, a remote village in Gushegu district of the northern Ghana, that will not sound funny to anyone at all, because under a tree or on top of it is the only way to find mobile network. Yesterday, on a portrait of the countryside, Redwan Karimdini Osman joins residents in their search for the fickle network.
Several kilometers away from the northern regional capital Tamale lies Bilesinga, a very remote village in the Gushegu district. Bilesinga is not only cut off but also deprived as all basic amenities like water, electricity, toilet facilities are non-existent. Hold on. In the heart of this community stands a tree highly revered by residents. You dare not attempt bringing it down. This tree is supposedly crucial if residents would want to get in touch with the outside world.
The option that we have is to struggle the other angle, is either by taking the tree, or we position ourselves in a situation that you can make a call, you easily make a call. But some other times when you make a call, you have to be at one point, because if you move a next step, it means that you are going to lose the call that you are doing.
Like many other remote villages in the northern region of Ghana, getting communication network signals in Bilesinga has become a case of chance, if not impossible. However, this has not discouraged the locals from getting their individual mobile phones, regardless of the brand. It is 3 in the afternoon, a period residents say the network hardly fails under the tree. They emerge from different corners of the village, indicating that a search for network signals has indeed begun. After failed attempt to get connected on the ground, residents identify strategic spots where they use the tree branches to tie their phones with the hope of stabilizing and capturing the network. After this, all one needs are patience and optimism.
Hello? Hello?
While all this is going on, some have already secured seats on top of the tree. Bilesinga gets talking here.
Hello? Hello?
How be your core? What is so and what is say and what is just a waba, and I say, your corner. A month for baby or more phone, just one Mudia Bay, Mudia Bay, Adrian Susuru. You say, and yes, I call bound to me your corner, and until I have no phones in the doors.
This is a daily exercise that is not always smooth sailing. Sometimes they go home with bruises or a fracture. But sometimes too, impatience coupled with desperation sets in, and these residents take their pursuit to another level by trekking nearly 8 kilometers to other areas where the network signals are quite stable. But even there, not everyone is lucky.
If you want to communicate to other places, in other maybe people, you have links to other places. Maybe, but if you realize that where you are, you have no network, you cannot do anything, you will be forced to move to that place, to a place that you think you can get a network. So we are appealing to the institutions, especially government, to come to our aid. Networkers and other things, they should come and help our people out of that thing.
According to residents, many people, including pregnant women, have died while giving birth at the hands of traditional birth attendants when that one phone call could not get through to the nearest ambulance service provider. Residents here don't have a toilet facility. They don't have electricity. In fact, they don't even have a source of potable water. But these are the least of the concerns they have. What they want is to be able to make that important phone call in times of emergency. Ghana's telecommunication journey has been quite progressive. However, successive governments have over the years paid lip service to digital inclusion in unserved and underserved communities in the country, a situation that continues to widen the already yawning inequality gap between those in rural and urban areas. Back in the national capital, Accra, we sought some answers from the Communication Ministry.
We are now looking for the funding to be able to do that. With the IMF stuff going on currently, it makes it difficult to get credit to be able to expand connectivity. But we are considering other arrangements, and I know that before long, within the next couple of months, those conversations should crystallize, and we should start rolling out an integrated network across the country, government-led, by the middle of next year, hopefully.
The total cellular and mobile voice subscriber base in Ghana as of April 2013 was 26,591,124. MTN Ghana has the largest market share, and they explain what has accounted for the challenges.
The signal is not found on trees, first of all. A signal is supposed to be concentrated in a particular location at any point in time to serve the people. From what you're describing, it appears that they're going chasing signal that is not supposed to be to cover them. So once the list comes up from GIFEC as a locality that needs to be covered, like we indicated earlier, we'll look at the requirements and what it takes to give proper coverage in that locality, and that will happen. What we can do from our end is to look at what actually is happening technically on the ground and see how we can help optimize the network to be able to give them some form of network until the permanent solution is acquired. But we still have to work together with GIFEC to be able to give them proper coverage.
The UN Sustainable Development Goal 9 focuses on building resilient infrastructure and fostering innovation, particularly through increasing access to ICT. Achieving this target by 2030 in Ghana will require a more holistic and inclusive approach in dealing with challenges in areas like Bilisinya. Reporting for GH1 News, my name is Ridwan Karim Dini Osman.
You're still watching GH Today News. My name is Sewa Mia. We bring you business brief after this. The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Yofi Grant, has announced Ghana recorded a total of $5.63 billion worth of investment in the first 3 quarters of 2017. Some 12,200 jobs have also been created as a result of the $4.37 billion FDI injection into the country.
Out of the 44 projects registered during the third quarter of year 2017, 33, which represents 75% of the total projects, were wholly foreign-owned enterprises valued at $61 million. The remaining 11 were joint ventures between Ghanaians and foreign partners valued at $58.73 million. The Chief Executive Officer of the GIPC, Yofi Grant, said the GIPC closed the third quarter of the fiscal year ending 31st December 2017 with $3.37 billion out of the $5 billion direct booking target for the year. He noted total foreign direct investments into Ghana included FDI investments registered at the Free Zones Board, the Minerals Commission and the Petroleum Commission. He explained out of the investments registered within the period from January to September 2017, China was the leading source of investments, registering over 25 projects.
But the list of countries from where these projects are coming is very interesting. In the third quarter alone, I think in the lead are 5 projects from the UK, 5 projects from India. But if you look at the sectors, because they're small, the country with the most investments in the third quarter will be China.
The GIPC boss added that there were indications of increasing FDI interest into Ghana on the back of improving macroeconomic environment and a government committed to improving the business climate as well as repositioning of the GIPC to play a more active and aggressive role in making Ghana the most attractive and competitive investment destination in Africa.
We are seeing investors come from all over the globe, from Poland, from Slovakia, from Czech Republic. I think that Ghana is in the right place and is open for business. And so we are going to do all that we have to do at GIPC to make sure it's an attractive place, but also benefits our people in forms of partnerships and capacity building within the Ghanaian.
Former President John Agyekum Kufuor is calling for a policy that will focus on the profitability in the country's energy sector. According to him, the country can, through this new policy, create partnerships to attract domestic investment in the sector, particularly in renewable energy, that can be exported to neighboring countries in large quantities.
As government prepares to embark on a solar rooftop program for all its ministries and agencies, and emphasized it will no longer sign any power purchase agreement for thermal generation of electricity, many stakeholders in the energy sector have lauded the initiative. They claim it will bode well for Ghana's renewable energy prospects. Former President John Agyekum Kufuor is, however, calling for a policy that will focus on creating partnerships that will generate more investment, making the country's renewable energy sector a profitable one.
Whilst we attract the domestic investors, we should know that the world is one big market now, and we may also talk of partnerships. But I believe that if all the partnerships should try to have local content. When I talk of local content, I'm not just talking of employment. I'm talking of equity holders and partnerships that would bring together know-how, capital, markets to generate.
Chairman of Strategic Security Systems Limited, the only company that produces solar panels in the entire West African region, believes it is high time Ghana makes much of its natural resources for the benefit of the entire nation.
We have this plant here. At the moment, we have the capacity to deliver. If we don't have the capacity, even now, we can expand to absorb whatever need government may have. So I feel very positive about that, because in doing all this, government also wants to make sure that it makes savings. And I think government will make a lot of savings introducing that as a policy.
The Chief Innovations Officer of the Strategic Security Systems Limited, which is in its 10th year of operations, says the company is willing to partner Ghana in order to reduce dependence on fossil fuel.
We want to create a kind of environment where, you know, the media is able to tell our story, and we're able to tell our story through the media. We're able to tell our story for people to join us and celebrate. This is a huge achievement. Ghanaian companies, we are pushing towards being a legacy company, and that is our goal here. So we want to do this not for ourselves but for Ghana. Ghana is an agent of change for the continent, and we want to be at the forefront of that conversation, and so everything that we do is going to be focused on that.
And let's go for our weather update now. And that's how we wrap up on GH Today News right here on GH1 TV. Thank you for staying with us. We're live on DSTV channel 361 and we're streaming on Facebook as well. You can contact us via our social media pages. We are back at 11:30 with more news. My name is Sewa Amiye. Kafude and Basewa will be bringing the rest of the show. But let me congratulate you, Kafude, on your unveiling as the ambassador for Save Our Beaches, Ghana. Congratulations.
Thank you. All right.